Good morning. Good Tuesday morning to you. November 15th. Man, I love it those mornings where you wake up and you just feel energized. I equate it to sometimes the weather changing. Weather's not great here this morning. It's actually raining, but man, we live out in the country, and when the weather changes, a lot of times you'll see the horses and stuff. We got a lot of horses close to us, and they'll start, man, they get frisky. So it's it's one of those mornings where I'm feeling like one of those horses out in the pasture. You don't feel like this every morning, but man, it's awesome to wake up, feel good, get that coffee going. So yesterday I was talking about expectations, and I told you today I'd share with you guys a powerful insight that's helped me tremendously when it comes to. I believe expectations really play a huge role in how our lives unfold. And one of the ways I have shifted my expectations over the last several years is that, and I've always been a very competitive person. So I'm always, for the most part of my life, I've been in this mode where I'm trying to make things happen and force things to happen. And, I'm just going to will my way to the front. And that's all good. It's a strategy, but as you get older, you mature, your perspective starts to change a little bit, hopefully. You start to realize, and if you're paying attention, you realize things unfold easier when you're coming from different perspectives and different ways of looking at things. So for me, the biggest shift I've made in the last probably 10 years or so is I no longer, when you feel like you're trying to make it happen and you're pushing and you're trying your hardest, a lot of times you feel like you're the only one in the game and all the weight is on your shoulders. And man, it just, to me, it feels like you're running uphill with a 20 mile an hour headwind in your face. It's just challenging. And what I've learned is over the years, I've shifted that perspective as my faith has grown. I've took a different approach. I see now as my job is to show up, put the work in, and work the puzzle. And if I do that, my expectation is, for me being a faith-based person, that God is going to bless my life. That blessing, I'm putting myself in a position for blessings to show up. And it's such a joy. I get excited to, because it almost puts you in that position. What's going to happen? I'm putting work in. I'm working the puzzle. Things are moving. Things are happening that I'm not physically have my hands on or physically working myself. You don't feel like all the pressure's on yourself. And you go from this position where you feel like you're running up the hill with a 20-mile-an-hour headwind to feel like you're running up the hill with a 20-mile-an-hour tailwind. And it actually even makes going up the hill enjoyable. And to me, this is important in the day and age we're living right now. We go through cycles, economic cycles, political cycles, all this stuff, but the world changes. Sometimes it's easier, sometimes it's tougher, sometimes it's more challenging. That's nothing new. That's been happening since the beginning of time. But the question is, a lot of times when times do change, when your expectations are tied to just you making it happen and you having to grind your way through, a lot of times when the times are more challenging, man, we bring our expectations bring extra difficulties that we don't necessarily have to bring on. And I think especially in times where times are challenging, when you put yourself in a position where here's my job. I'm going to show up, I'm going to put the work in, and I'm going to what was my third one? I done forgot. No, I'm going to show up, put the work in, and work the puzzle. And if I do that, I position myself for blessings no matter what the conditions are around me. We quit our expectations, we adjust our expectations, so we quit trying to control the things that we don't have control over. So just wanted to share that with you guys this morning. I think it's something helpful, especially in the times that we're in right now. And I'm pumped. I'm excited. I think, when times are challenging, when they're a little bit more tough, it just changes the landscape a little bit and the opportunities come in a different way. And a lot of times, I think if we're paying attention, actually greater opportunities can come during challenging times than when things are good. When things are good, a lot of times we miss that big opportunity. We're not paying attention. We're not zeroed in and focused the way we are when we have to really work the puzzle. So you guys have a great Tuesday, and I will see you guys back here in the morning.